Hold on to your butts. These are the Squashbuckler Diaries. Welcome back. My name is Guy Hasson, and these are the Squashbuckler Diaries. Sometimes I say, this is the Squashbuckler Diaries. Sometimes I say, these are the Squashbuckler Diaries. I think both are true, because diaries is plural, but this thing is just one thing called diaries. So who knows what the right thing is? In any case, we are in the middle of an actual adventure with the Red Dragon. In the Squashbuckler Diaries, we talk about Joy's life, we talk about what makes her up, and we very rarely actually have an adventure. The adventures will be in the books. And as I sit this, I'm recording it in my car. I'm sick. This is the only time I have. And now you'll hear voices on the side. I'm telling you this because something very strange is happening. I'm parked in the car on the side of a street, and just like 5 minutes ago, two teenagers just came up and just walked from in front of me to behind me. And then I recorded the last episode. And now I started recording this episode, and they just came back from being in front of me. So maybe I'm in a time loop. Just saying, just in case a time loop happens, you heard it here first. It was very disconcerting. They were talking to each other just the way they did before. So, I don't know. It's very strange. So anyway, we are in the middle of an adventure with the Red Dragon, with the Dragoness. And this thing rarely happens. The Red Dragon usually she watches over Joy and Justin, and she tells the adventures as far as she can see them. She tells the life story as far as she can see them. But she hasn't participated yet. But once a year, more or less, she is summoned by Justin, Joy's father. And this time, she's summoned for an adventure. And so last time we left off, the flying flies were coming, man-sized flies, and entire battalions of flying flies come to reclaim Bonny's revenge from apparently Justin and Joy, before the Red Dragon came into their lives. They apparently stole this ship from these people, or people who work for them. So let's see what happens. So Joy's riding on Red, which is what she calls the Red Dragon. And now let's see what happens. Episode 33, Wrath of the Red Dragon. Joy's age, 5.5, told by the Red Dragon. Within moments after Dragonfather summoned me, Dragondil was on my back. She sat on the groove of one of the big scales in the center of the back of my neck, a groove chiseled out by my former enslavers. Dragonfather and Dragondil had saved me from my enslavers and given me freedom 3 years before that, and ever since I've been watching them from my hiding place and helping when summoned. Now Dragondil, grown up and 5.5 years old, was sitting behind my back and screaming, "Let's get them!" Reacting to her movements, I turned around in midair and flew towards the swarms of man-sized flying flies that engulfed Bonny's revenge and blocked out the suns. "Come on, Dad," Dragondil yelled. "See if you can keep up, slowpoke." I aimed myself at the swarm, opened my mouth, and engulfed the swarm ahead of me with flame. The flying flies did not burn, nor turn into dust. The flying flies simply disappeared when the fire touched them, as some dreams do when they die. Just a little note, because inside the text there's if you want to know what she's talking about regarding dust, go back and see Mary's death, the episode called Dust. Behind me, Dragonfather, the name I give Justin Shelley, was at the helm of the ship, rising to the air and blasting the swarm with cannons. Hee-haw! Dragon Little yelled when I spun around and blasted another part of the swarm with fire. Go, Red, go! Dragon Little yelled as in the middle of battle I swatted dozens of flying flies with my tail. Fly higher, higher, she shouted with joy as I shot up towards the sky to get a better view of the swarm from above. She's back! Red is back! Dragon Little shouted again as I fired at another swarm. And so it went, with Dragon Little so happy to be reunited with me and in the middle of an adventure. I was no less happy. For those few moments, I felt like she was my daughter. Of course she wasn't, but I've always wanted her to be. For those precious minutes, I felt she was my Dragon Little. I hope perhaps she felt the same. Within minutes of pure joy, the swarm had been defeated. I came to rest in the air next to Bonny's revenge. So awesome you could help, Red, Dragonfather told me and stroked my nose. We couldn't have done it without you. I am always available when you need me, I said softly. Then what would you say, Dragonfather whispered in a conspiring voice. We take this fight to their king and settle this feud once and for all, yes? Yes! Dragon Little jumped up and down on her seat in the back of my neck. Yes? Dragonfather asked me. Yes, I whispered. Let's do it. Yes! Dragon Little whooped. Let's do it! And so we did. I will tell you more about that tomorrow. Told by the Red Dragon. Hashtags: Joy, Justin, Slowpoke, the Red Dragon, the Flying Flies, Dust. So, the Red Dragon is very powerful, right? She's very powerful. And she's more powerful than almost anything you can find in the dream. But is she more powerful than what's coming next? So, we will have to see tomorrow and perhaps the day after that. Join us tomorrow for episode 34. Do Dragons Have Jokes? And now, the credits. The Squashbuckler Diaries are written and read by me, Guy Hasson. If you want to know more about the Squashbuckler Diaries, check out the website, guyhasson.com, which is GUYHASSON.com. The theme music is called Brash Gentleman and is by Thomas Herudek. I will talk to you again tomorrow in the dream. Ahoo! Okay. Sorry about that. Fly higher, higher, she shouted with joy, and joy is capitalized.